Hi, I'm Brooke Thomas. I'm the president and owner of 360yearlife.com, and I'm a certified nutrition consultant. I started a healthy lunch program at my children's school recently, and I'm the spokesperson for Healthy Home Market. So today I just want to tell you my story. I actually grew up in a health-focused family, and I'm very fortunate that I was fed and nourished proper foods as a child. But growing up in a health-focused family, I did have parents that didn't really explain to me why I had to eat these certain foods and why I was putting certain foods in my body. So I just kind of did as I was told because I had pretty strict parents, and I was never really told why I should do this. So as I grew up and I left the house and I went off to college, I did exactly the opposite of what I had been kind of told to do my whole life, which I really think that a lot of us tend to rebel against what we're told if we don't understand why. So one of my biggest passions now is to really educate and explain to parents, children, and for all of us to be empowered on why we need to make these changes. Because I believe if you're just told what to do and you don't understand why, then you might go against that, as I did. And the reason why my story is so important is I thought I was healthy, and then when I went off to college, I continued to think I was healthy because I listened to marketing, I listened to the world and what the marketing on the boxes said as far as fat-free, sugar-free, antioxidants on a box of cereal maybe, or maybe some diet pills here and there, or just whatever a girl might think when they're in college that they're being exposed to that would make me think I could get maybe skinnier or healthier. And I never had an eating disorder, but I did have a problem with just wanting to maybe be skinnier or healthier, just like every woman probably wants to, especially in college. So I did listen to marketing because I didn't have anybody else that explained to me why I should be nourished with certain foods and how that really is true beauty and true health from the inside out. And so I put probably every kind of toxin on my skin, and I probably put, because I listened also to skincare marketing as well as food that was telling me all of that. So fast forward years later, when I was about 26 years old, I got married, and about 6 months later I got pregnant. So I was extremely healthy. I thought I looked healthy. I got pregnant, which is half the battle of us women feeling like we're healthy. And then, to my surprise, within the first trimester of my first pregnancy, I found out that I had stage 3 cancer. So as you can imagine, I was in complete shock, because to find out that you have stage 3 cancer in your first trimester of pregnancy is just beyond scary. What I'll tell you is I had stage 3 melanoma cancer. So when I first heard melanoma, and when some people hear melanoma, you think, oh, well, it's from sun. It's skin damage or sun damage, maybe from growing up in South Florida. I also was definitely a big fan of tanning beds. So between the sun and tanning beds, that's how I got this cancer. Well, I will say that I believe that that's not how I got this cancer. After going to a Maximize Living doctor, and after being educated on really and truly how your cancer genes can be turned on or off, the light bulb just came on, and it came just completely clear to me why my cancer gene had been turned on. And so as hard as it was for me to admit it, and I'll tell you, I just turned 35, so it's probably it took me probably a couple years after I got diagnosed with cancer to really come to terms and admit that the things I had been doing were potentially the cause, or were the cause of those cancer genes coming on. But I can honestly say, almost 9 years later, that the only thing that I have significantly changed since that cancer scare and since that cancer diagnosis that I got is that I started adopting the 5 essentials into my life, and I did not have the 5 essentials before. And I've been cancer-free ever since my baby was born, and my blood work and my health has been extremely better than before I was pregnant. And I now have an almost 8-year-old, and I have a little girl that just turned 5. And I will tell you that unfortunately I have 2 people that I know in my life that have struggled with the same thing, that were diagnosed with the same thing. And one of them is a misfortune that she actually was diagnosed with stage 3 melanoma, first trimester, just like me, and she actually died 2 weeks after her baby was born. So this is a really serious cancer, and I had to come to terms with that because I didn't believe it. And I also have another girl, and this is good news, that's actually going through this right now. She has stage 3 melanoma. She was actually going through chemotherapy, and she couldn't even afford it because she didn't even have the means to afford it. It's very expensive, and she's young. She's in her 20s, just like I was. And she actually started going to a Maximize Living doctor, and she's been able to stop her chemo because when she started going to a Maximize Living doctor and started getting treatment, she then went back to the cancer doctors and nothing showed up on her blood work that she had cancer. So that right there, I have goosebumps right now telling this, because that right there shows you from these 3 stories what the outcome can be, whether you adopt these 5 essentials or not. And it can be so simple. That's the best part, is it doesn't have to be difficult. It can be so simple. And the best part about Maximize Living is that they actually explain why you need these, and that was the biggest thing I was missing. So the best thing you can do is empower yourself, understand why you need these 5 essentials, so you then can be empowered to help other people and change your family and change the next generation, so that we don't have to be in this health crisis any longer. So thank you for listening to my story. Again, my name is Brooke Thomas, and I have adopted the 5 essentials into my life, and I'm thankful.